Getting the gaps right in your irons are massively, massively important. So if you are going for a fitting, then gapping is absolutely a conversation you should be having with the pro who is fitting you. So today I'm going to be bringing Wilbur in for a little gap test with him. We're going to start inside the studio, get some numbers from him, but I'm also going to take him out onto the golf course to see how that works for him as well. So let's meet up with Wilbur and see what he's up to with his irons. Wilbur.
Afternoon, Dan.
Wilbur for president is what I saw on the comments.
It's a good shout, I think.
It's a very good shout. So your game has been discussed in a recent Sunday morning show. Me and Lester were chatting about you and your game and how well you've been playing recently. Confidence is obviously a big thing for you.
Definitely,
you tend to start playing a lot better when you feel like you've got some confidence. And I think you getting your card for 2021 to play on the Euro Pro Tour has probably given you an ounce of confidence. Would you say that that's been the case?
Yeah, definitely. The game's always been there, you know, since even when I was amateur. It's just getting every party game to work at the same time, you know, because you have one day where you hit it so well off the tee and then you just can't hold a putt. So it's just getting it all to work together smoothly.
Now, one of the things that we talked about in that Sunday morning show was that we said that probably all round, your whole game is as good as anything. I mean, you drive the ball really well. Your putting is pretty immaculate majority of the time. Your short game is spot on. One of the things that possibly Lester brought up was maybe your iron play. Now, your irons, just tell me a little bit about the irons that you currently use in the bag.
So I've got a Titleist 716s with an X100 shafts in.
Yeah.
So I've had them for like 4 years maybe. So it's just an iron that I've got used to and I haven't really thought of changing much at all.
Do you think that you're gapping in and amongst your irons? So have you got a pretty good gauge as to how far each club goes?
So on the course, I'd say yeah, because I don't really hit that many full shots, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't really go after irons as much on the course, so I'm trying to feel a yardage in there, so I understand, like, if I've got 160, I'll have two different clubs where I can hit 160.
Okay.
But just hitting a shot and to my max and seeing how far it goes, I wouldn't know.
Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little gap test with you on your irons, because these are very old irons, okay, as in 4 years old, and you don't hold back when you hit them. So over the years of 4 years of practicing, playing, I mean, you've played a lot of golf in that 4 years.
Yes.
Maybe these irons have moved a fraction, and maybe those yardages, maybe there's some yardages there we can look at that we might be able to improve on. I'm not saying that we're going to find that, but we might find something in there that maybe can improve some of your iron play.
I reckon in the 4 years I've had them, I've probably looked at the lofts probably twice, changed the lofts twice.
And have you had to move with the lofts?
Yeah. They're forged clubs, so they do move. Yeah,
they're
so
I
should probably look at them a lot more than I do.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to hit some balls in the studio. We'll have a chat about it, and then maybe we'll take it out onto the golf course as well.
Okay.
How you feeling? Bit tired after all that?
Shattered. Absolutely shattered.
You're not much of a practicer, are you?
No. 100 balls and I'm done.
Right, so if we start off with your pitching wedge, 139 on an average. I'm not going to take any shots out. I'm going to leave it as it is. So 137 on an average, which is about right for how far you can wedge.
Yeah.
If we then come to your 9-iron, 148, so 11-yard gap.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good.
Pretty good. Then we move into 8-iron, 160 average, 12-yard gap.
So consistent again.
Pretty good. Then we move into your 7-iron, 172.
12-yard gap.
12-yard gap.
It's getting...
Are these numbers actually very similar to what, if you had a 172-yard carry, are you going to hit a 7-iron? No wind, no anything? Pretty level.
Yeah, so it's either a 7 or go at an 8.
Go at an 8, okay. 6-iron, 184 average, 12 yards.
Gap.
This is perfect.
It's making it easy, this video, isn't it?
5-iron, 198, 14-yard gap.
Yeah.
Now, you ready for the jump? 4 iron. We've talked about this before. 218, 20-yard gap.
Yeah, I was expecting that to come up, to be honest, because obviously in the video before it said that my 4 iron was more of a like 3.5 iron.
Yeah.
Just to get it that bit.
And what I find really interesting with this with Will is that what you'll find with lots of players is the gapping will tend to sort of get squeezed closer. So for me, for example, because I don't compress it quite as much as what Will do, I haven't quite got the speed of Will, I start to really lose out when I get up into my 5 iron and 4 iron. If I don't strike a 4 iron, I'm really down into my 5 iron, and obviously vice versa. So for you, because you hit it so well and so solid, you're actually pressing that 4 iron just a fraction more on.
A bit more ball speed is going to make it go a little bit further.
But ultimately, I think we would need to have a little look at the actual lofts of Will's clubs when he gets up to 5 iron and 4 iron. Maybe there's a bit of a change that 4 iron looks like it's getting a little bit stronger, as you quite rightly said, into more 3 iron.
It's a club that if I have to hit a fairway off a tee, or if I have to just get it in play, I'll go to that club. But I don't want that going 210. I'm going to be going probably 220 in the fly and rolling out a little bit. So, do
you feel that you can take off a little bit off the 4 iron just to be able to manoeuvre it into that gap of like 200 to 210 yards?
Yeah. So like hitting just a left to right shot, just taking a bit off it, a bit more spin.
And you're able to manage that situation when you get into the golf ball. Right, now, the biggest thing that I've picked up on this for Will, if I come down, and I'm going to go straight to your 7 iron.
Yeah.
What golf ball do you use, Will?
Pro V1.
Pro V1, as in the Pro V1 that we've been hitting in the studio, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're spinning this golf ball at 6,100 revs on an average. I would like to see Will going into a ball that is maybe just a little bit spinnier than what you're getting out of the Pro V1. What's the reason you use a Pro V1 ball?
I've always used a Pro V1 ball, and to be honest, like I obviously use the yellow and the white.
Yeah.
And comparing them beforehand, that was the best ball for me. So maybe I've changed slightly.
Well, I would like to do some more testing when it comes to you changing into maybe a Pro V1X over the Pro V1, just to get your spin up a little bit, because on the golf course, I think what Lester is maybe seeing, and you might be seeing this your game, is you get the odd little flyer that goes over the back of the green.
Goes a very long way.
Goes a long way. Do you see that in your game?
Yeah.
I would say that's your biggest...
I play for flyers quite a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
So have you ever thought about managing your game a little bit more with generating a little bit more spin?
I thought the fly was down to me being steep into the ball. Because I was steep into the ball, I was getting grass between obviously the...
club face and the ball.
So that's the reasoning behind it. I didn't realise it would be from the ball.
Okay, we're going to take this onto the golf course and just see if there's anything that we can do out there. We're going to take out a Pro V1 and a Pro V1X and just see if we can improve in what you're getting out there.
Okay.
Got him out on the golf course. We're on the 18th hole, which is actually 170 yards to that back pin.
Yeah, slightly into wind.
Slightly into wind, so we're not going to get with a 7 iron, we're not going to airmail, but we're going to hit 3 shots with the Pro V1 and 3 shots with the Pro V1X outside. Now, would you say out on the golf course you get different numbers than what you get in the studio?
I'd say so, yeah. I'm not sure if it's down to like competitive golf, you're got a bit more adrenaline behind you, etc. Or I don't know. We'll find out. I think.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
3 balls then, Wilbur.
Yep.
Using your yellow ball that you would use on the golf course. Okay.
Yep.
So your yellow Pro V1 golf ball to start us off with.
Okay.
Go for it. Good looking shot. Where's that?
Straight up the flagstick.
Perfect. Great hit.
Cheers.
Well, that's flown quite nicely in the wind, doesn't it? Into wind like that.
That's gone 179 carry.
Okay, let's hit 2 more and we'll have a look at the numbers in a minute, alright? Good, where's that? Yeah, pretty good though again. Very good, Wilbur. 2 good strikes to get us going with. No spoilers yet, but we're going to now hit 3 shots with the Pro V1X and just see what the numbers come out in the difference of these 2 situations.
I think it'd be interesting. I want to find out myself.
Well, yeah, I
so.
think you need to find out yourself, to be honest. Go again then. Good strike, Wilbur. Straight at it again. That feel any different off the face?
It was a bit thin, Dan.
Was it a bit clean? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's come out just a fraction short of target, so
Yeah.
just a little on the clean side, which means it's going to spin a little bit more, which maybe make it climb just a fraction more
Yeah, there's a bit
when
of
it goes up into the wind.
There is a bit of a breeze.
Okay. Okay, again, climbing. See it?
Spin, yeah.
Yeah, you're getting shorter and shorter with that golf ball. And again, one more. That is really fascinating, isn't it, to see it out on the golf course, performing the way it's performing. I mean, you struck all of them, I would say, pretty similar.
Yeah, like the numbers for that one was pretty good.
Well, let's hang on a minute. Don't give any numbers away. Let's just take one more shot, Wilbur.
Getting excited.
You are excited. That little bit on the clean side?
Yeah.
And I think that's just you reacting to the situation.
Trying to
That's Miss Right, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's you reacting to the situation to almost stop it from climbing up too much.
Yeah.
That's just the player coming out of you trying to deal with it. Warm enough?
Just getting there, yeah.
Yeah.
Cup of coffee,
Cup of coffee.
couple of bickies, and we're there.
Right, numbers outside then, Wilbur. So we talked about it just as we were walking outside, but Wilbur believes that he hits the ball just a fraction further outside than he does inside the studio. So the
Definitely,
numbers that you
yeah.
kind of got inside, he thinks he hits it a little bit further when he gets outside. Now, we did obviously the numbers from the Pro V1 to the Pro V1X, and from a spin point of view, Will, 6,825 on an average with your Pro V1. Now
Yeah.
you're 6'1" inside, so 6,100 on average inside, but outside you're 6'8". So this
But
opens up another can of worms that we're going to get
Definitely,
into.
yeah. But there is one that it's the spin is a lot higher.
Little
I was
higher.
going to bring it down.
You do jump around a little bit, so you go from 6'1" up to 7'4". So that is so subject to your strike
Yeah.
in that situation for Will. When we went into the Pro V1X, your spin is at 6'8" as well.
As well, yeah.
So it's exactly the same. So we're not seeing a great deal of difference. In order to have a little look at that in more detail, we'd have to hit a lot more shots in order to start to see the averages and get this strike more consistent throughout that. But on those shots that you hit out there, I'm saying that at the moment that Pro V1 outside is working absolutely fine for Will. But when we were out there, we found something else, didn't we, Will?
Yes, yeah.
If we go to your club data of your angle of attack down onto the ball outside and the loft of what you deliver, his angle of attack outside is 6.7 degrees down on the ball with a delivery of loft of 23.6 degrees of loft.
That's why it's going further.
Well, you're taking loft off because if we look at what you're getting inside, your angle of attack is less down, so you're 3.8 degrees angle of attack down, so you're sweeping it more inside, and your loft is 31.5.
That's that's where the distance.
So the distance drop off is obviously you're delivering now a lot more loft than what you're getting outside, which is why you're seeing a change in yardages from inside to what he's getting outside. So there's a big change of numbers from inside to outside, Will, which is probably why you don't practice a great deal inside.
No, so normally when I practice inside, it'd be more driver, so
Yes.
the mat doesn't really affect it then anyway.
What do you think is different inside to outside? Why do you think it's different in here to what you're getting outside?
Well, because I hit down on the ball quite hard.
Yes.
When I'm hitting down on the mat, there's nowhere for it to go, so I'm almost getting stuck, so it's like a shock, so I'm almost worried of hitting down inside, whereas outside it's you just taking a divot.
Do you think you react to the fact that the ball is possibly sat up a fraction as well inside? Because I mean, it's the perfect lie all the time in here,
Yeah,
isn't
maybe,
it?
yeah.
It's definitely in a mental approach that you're having slightly different inside to outside.
Well,
isn't it?
yeah, you've seen me come in here before, hit 5 or 6 shanks in a row, and I said that's me done. Is that because I'm scared of going down in it, so I'm changing everything, I'm coming up on the ball?
Probably. Absolutely.
That could be the
right.
reasoning.
Absolutely right. Which in turn is why you're getting less spin inside to what you're getting outside.
Yeah.
So you're sweeping it more inside, hitting down into the golf ball more outside, which is giving you the spin. So the Pro V1 for you is
perfect
working
ball.
absolutely fine
Yeah.
for what you're getting outside. It just be conscious of the situation of what you're doing inside compared to outside. So just be very careful when you look at the numbers in here when you're trying to get yourself gapped in.
Yeah.
So just to kind of summarize what we've got out of today, because ultimately today was an experiment. I've not seen much of Will's numbers for some time now, but the reaction to Will from inside to outside is quite fascinating, and one of which I want to do some more numbers with him outside. I want to try and have a little look and see if we can get a bit more data from his golf ball that he uses and what he does outside. But the good thing is, a set of golf clubs that are 4 years old, some would say now's the time to possibly change them, but you can see from the numbers, the 12-yard gaps that pretty much Will's been getting right the way through the bag are still very, very solid. And for me, that is the most important factor right now. One thing that Will needs to be mindful of is how much delivery of loft or little loft that he's playing into his shots when he gets outside. You can see that he's firing that golf ball a long way outside, but he's delivering a 23, 24 degrees of loft. Now, for a 7-iron, that's quite a little amount of loft. He wants to try and see if he can get that up a little bit, but at the end of the day, if he can manage it out onto the golf course, at least this today just gives him a little bit more of an insight into what he's doing when he's hitting golf balls outside and inside. Let me know, put your comments down below. I'd like to hear what you thought about that video, and any questions that you have, pop them down there. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Got loads more content coming your way, and we look forward to catching up with you again soon. See you later.